Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Third ID supports CHR investigation into civilian killings in Negros Occidental. MNLF affirms commitment to peace agreement at Barrio Calcar gathering. Full implementation of the DWDD food stamp program to begin in July. 29 pesos per kilogram subsidized rice sale by August, attainable according to Department of Agriculture. Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Monday, May 13, and we will bring you the latest news from the Armed Forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For a brief overview of our stories, the Philippine Army's 3rd Infantry Spearhead Division has welcomed the Commission on Human Rights investigation into recent civilian killings in Negros Occidental. Major General Marian Suzon affirmed the Army's full support for CHR's efforts to uncover the truth behind these incidents. The division reiterated its commitment to transparency and cooperation with the investigation to ensure justice for the victims and their families. The CHR Bacot has initiated a probe into the alleged liquidation of 8 civilians reportedly involving the New People's Army.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
More than 20,000 members and supporters of the Moro and National Liberation Front gathered in Barrio Calcar, Central Mindanao to reaffirm their commitment to the September 2, 1996 final peace compact with the national government. Led by Bangsamoro Labor and Employment Minister Muslimin Sema, they pledged allegiance to the newly organized Bangsamoro Party and vowed to uphold the peace agreement. MNLF leaders emphasized their dedication in nurturing the gains of the truth, which originated from decades of peace talks, including the Tripoli Agreement of 1976. The event showcased unity among MNLF factions and their resolve for peaceful political engagement in the Bangsamoro region.
Armed Forces Radio.
For more updates, let us hear the details from Private Paloma regarding the Balikatan exercise turnover community project in Lasam, Cagayan.
In a remarkable display of cooperation and dedication between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States, 2 new classrooms were officially handed over on the 9th of May 2024 at Alanay Elementary School in Alanay, Lasam, Cagayan.
Under the Humanitarian and Civic Assistance Program Balikatan 39-2024, a single-story 2-classroom school building now stands proudly on the school grounds. Approximately 30 to 40 students can use the classroom, specifically second graders. Constructed in 41 days, this achievement was made possible through the combined efforts of Filipino and American troops, underscoring the strength of the alliance between the two nations. This initiative not only addresses the critical shortage of educational facilities in the region, but also reinforces the bonds between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States. The classrooms in Barangay Alanay, Lasam, Cagayan is one of the development projects carried out under the Engineering Civic Action Program of Balikatan Exercise 39-2024.
This is Mike Paloma reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Mike Paloma.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For other news, the Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro anticipated the broader full battle simulation exercises in next year's Balikatan exercise. This was announced by the Secretary during the formal closing ceremony of Balikatan 39-2024 held at Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City. In his message as the guest of honor, he conveyed President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s greetings to the Armed Forces of the Philippines and all the participants in that annual military exercise between the Philippines and the United States. He also stated that the current year has been productive for bilateral and multilateral cooperation between the Philippines and the United States, Australia, Japan, France, India, Canada, and other like-minded nations. The 3-week Balikatan 39-2024 exercise involved the largest deployment of troops, with 68,000 personnel from the Philippines and the United States participating.
DWDD Armed Forces
Two former rebels currently serving jail time in Guhilngan City were among those who received financial aid amounting to 5,000 pesos each under the Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation program. The ceremony held at Guhilngan Satellite Skills Development Center in Barangay Poblacion was organized by the Provincial Social Welfare Development Office Protective Services Program. Mayor Filomeno Reyes, the chairperson of the Guhilngan City Task Force to End Local Communities' Armed Conflict, emphasized that the local government, the police, and armed forces of the Philippines are committed to peace-building efforts. He also urged the former rebels to return to the government fold, emphasizing that war is not the solution in achieving peace.
Armed Forces Radio.
Bring us the latest insights from the scene. We have our correspondent Beth. Let us hear the details about 66th IB holds Campus Peace Symposium in Davao Oriental High School.
The Charlie Company of the 66th Infantry Battalion Kabalikat organized a Campus Peace Symposium at Manuel B. Guinness Senior National High School in Banay-Banay, Davao Oriental. Attended by 425 students and teachers, the event aimed to equip them with knowledge to combat deceptive propaganda from communist terrorist group. In line with this, the symposium is part of the battalion's initiative for foster peace and eliminate insurgency in Davao Oriental. This is Beta Nieta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Beth Nieta.
DWDD Armed
A
Forces
37-year-old person with disability was fatally shot by alleged New People's Army members in La Castellana, Negros Occidental. La Castellana Police Chief Police Major Sherwin Fernandez reported that the victim, who had partial blindness, was targeted while en route to his sister's residence. 3 unidentified armed individuals were observed near the victim's house prior to the incident. This incident adds to a string of NPA-related killings across Negros Occidental in recent weeks, including one reported in Barangay Cabagnaan, La Castellana last month, as well as 7 others in various towns and cities in the province.
DWDD National
For our national news, the government will start the full implementation of the food stamp program nationwide in July, according to the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The SWD Undersecretary Edo Punay shared in a press briefing in Quezon City that preparations for the full implementation of the program are underway after a successful 6-month pilot run in several parts of the country. He said that the department will carry out the program in 10 regions and 21 provinces with an initial target of 300,000 families. The FSP is among the priority programs of the Marcos administration, which has a goal of combating involuntary hunger through providing food augmentation to the bottom 1 million households based on the Listahan 3.
Armed Forces Radio.
Now let us hear from a reporter on the ground for more updates about PBBM welcomes France's plan for joint maritime exercises in West Philippine Sea. Go on for the details, Jai.
Commanding General Philippine Army Lieutenant General
Rofh, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. expressed appreciation for France's proposal to conduct joint maritime exercises with the Philippines in the West Philippine Sea. He highlighted the importance of international support in safeguarding freedom of navigation in the area amidst increasing incidents of Chinese intrusion. Seeking to bolster ties with the Philippines, France, possessing territories in South Pacific, aims to counteract the expanding influence of China. It can be recalled that the said country participated alongside the Philippines and various other nations in the Balikatan exercise, which concluded recently. This is Jai for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Jai.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Agriculture said that selling of government-subsidized rice at 29 pesos per kilogram by August is within reach. Agriculture Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa underscored that selling of cheaper rice was earlier done through the National Irrigation Administration's contract farming with farms, cooperatives, and associations. According to de Mesa, this was made possible through a lower production cost, considering the provision of free seedlings, fertilizers, free irrigation services fee, and the machinery from the Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization. The official added that the program may be implemented in coordination with the National Food Authority once the proposed amendments in rice tarification law are finalized.
DWDD. National
The
News.
Department of Agriculture stressed that the move to re-allow the National Food Authority to buy rice and sell it cheaper would stabilize the prices. According to the Assistant Secretary and spokesperson Honor de Mesa, the proposed modification in the rice tarification law is a much-needed intervention if the Philippines will not opt to drastic actions such as price caps. De Mesa explained that the price cap can be good in the beginning but could have negative economic impacts to the country in the long term. Relatedly, the official said the rice NFA would be selling is of good quality and relatively priced lower than the prevailing market price for well-milled, which is between 48 to 53 pesos.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming in from Gina about Philippine Army celebrates graduating cadets of PMA Bagong Sinag class of 2024.
Commanding General Philippine Army Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido hosted a reception dinner for the graduating cadets of the Philippine Military Academy's Bagong Sinag class of 2024. The ceremony held at the Cordillera Convention Hall in Baguio City celebrated the achievements of the 278-strong class, including 54 women who will be commissioned as officers in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Notably, 5 female cadets ranked in the top 10 with Cadet First Class Jeanette B. Elumba leading the pack. Moreover, Lieutenant General Galido emphasized the challenges ahead and handed over equipment packages to prepare the cadets for their roles as future leaders in the Army. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Gina.
DWDD. National News.
For more development stories, the Presidential Communications Office has partnered with giant social media companies in the Philippines to combat misinformation and disinformation. PCO Undersecretary for Digital Media Services Emerald Ridao said in his message during the recent Unicom 2024 gathering in Manila that there is a need to put an end to misinformation and disinformation within the digital sphere against government programs and individuals. Among those who joined the Tech Talks discussion were officials from Meta, Google, and TikTok. The following shared their invaluable insights and expertise in fighting fake news.
DWDD. National News.
The Department of Social Welfare Development launched the Harmonized Electronic License and Permit System or HELPS, where the registration, licensing, and accreditation by social welfare and development agencies can be done online. DSWD Standards Bureau Assistant Director Cynthia Lano said the move is in line with one of the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 10-point socio-economic agenda, which calls for the digitalization of government process and operations. This is also part of the 7 priority programs and initiatives of the DSWD, the Paspas Servicio Program, which is one of the innovations under Secretary Rex Gatchalian's leadership. The said advancement aims to streamline, re-engineer, automate, digitalize, and centralize the current regulatory programs of the DSWD.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more update outside our station. Let us hear from Mark about 24th IB Assist in Outreach Program in Abra.
Yes, Rofh. 24th Infantry Battalion assisted in a recent outreach program held in Barangay Mapis Lalikwan, Baay, Abra. The said activity was with collaboration of various groups including TESDA Abra, POP CPIC, and local government officials. According to Lieutenant Colonel Jose Wilfredo Panes of the 24th IB, the initiative aimed to provide essential services to promote peace and development in the said province. Moreover, community leaders expressed their gratitude for the support and emphasize unity in moving forward. This is Katropang Mark reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for the stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Mark.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health reported that road crash-related injuries remain to be the top cause of death and injuries among children and adolescents in the country. Based on DSWD's online National Electronics Injury Surveillance System, 31.1% of the reported injuries in 2023 were caused by vehicular crashes. The department also found out that consistent increase in the number of road crash incidents as motor vehicle usage and ownership rose. In response to this, the DOH of the Department of Health believes that bicycle lanes, walkways, and other active transport infrastructure programs would help reduce the number of road accident injuries and fatalities and also mitigate the increase in non-communicable diseases.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. dismissed the reports of destabilization plot involving the active police officials against his administration. The president underlined that Philippine National Police personnel are not engaged in politicking. On the other hand, the chief executive did not exclude the possibility that retired officials could be hatching a destabilization plot. Furthermore, President Marcos appealed to the police and military to stay committed to their sworn duty and set aside politics.
Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about the former rebels in Negros Oriental received financial assistance. Go on for the details, Spencer.
Indeed, Rofh, 12 former rebels who surrendered to the Gihulngan City Task Force to end local communist armed conflict, 62nd Infantry Unifier Battalion, and other authorities were granted financial aid under the Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation program. The Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office of Negros Oriental provided 5,000 pesos each to the FRs, totaling to 60,000 pesos, while 9 FRs received assistance in person. The Department of Social Welfare and Development staff personally delivered aid to 2 FRs in prison and 1 who has ill in Gihulngan City. In line with this, Rofh, the 62nd Infantry Battalion pledged a continued support for government programs to ensure stability in Negros Island's peace and security. Again, this is Spencer Ross, reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
The government is planning to boost infrastructure development and ensure the progress in the entire region of Sorsogon. According to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the development of the region would be prioritized through the administration's Build Better More program, which could help improve economic growth through key infrastructure projects. The president underscored that enhancing the infrastructure of the region would bring income opportunities and additional jobs. Aside from this, President Marcos shared that the government would also prioritize the farmers and fisher folk in the region by providing corn and palay seeds, fertilizer, farm equipment, machinery for processing, and cold storage facilities.
DWDD National News.
The Office for Transportation Security advised the passengers that replica guns are not allowed in airports in the country. The ODS made the advisory after a toy gun was intercepted from a Taipei-bound passenger at Clark International Airport last May 8. OTS spokesperson Kim Marquez said although the confiscated cap pistol was a toy gun, it creates simulation of gunshot and smoke. Marquez explained that some replica guns may look harmless but are capable of discharging projectiles that could endanger the passengers and the aircraft.
Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear from Terence about Barbers urges BBM to scrap ARAP EO 285 conversion of tourist visas to students' visas.
Surigao del Norte Representative Robert Ace Barbers urges President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. to scrap President ARAP's Executive Order Number 285, which allows the Bureau of Immigration or BI to convert tourist visas to student visas. Barbers said, in today's setting, this particular power by the BI can be abused. This arbitrary power to convert visas is the worst legalized scheme that can be used by unscrupulous personnel for monetary gain. He said 16,200 student visas that the BI granted to Chinese nationals in 2023 is simply unacceptable. And never mind if other countries, he said, grant more, and we should never use that as our yardstick given our tense relationship with China. He added that the DFA should be the sole agency in charge of granting visas to foreigners. It alone, he said, possesses the expertise to determine whether the applicants are eligible or not. Under Executive Order 285, an interagency committee on foreign students was created, chaired by JED, with the DFA, MBI, NICA, and DepEd as members. This is Terence Mordeno Grana reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Terence.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear from Ella about Mandaluyong CPS joins the Mother's Day celebration.
Good afternoon, everyone. To maintain a good relationship in the community, together with Mandaluyong Eagles Club Anti-Crime Group or MESAG, headed by Mr. Lionel De Los Santos as President, and Joint Task Force NCR led by 2nd Lieutenant Denver Corum of 11th CMO Battalion, the Station Community Affairs and Development Division at Mandaluyong City Police conducted a feeding program in Barangay Poblacion, Mandaluyong City. The activity, as part of Mother's Day celebration, aims to strengthen collaboration with force multipliers and other allied forces in delivering basic services among the members of 12 clusters of National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict or NTF-LCAC. The feeding program, which was attended by a large number of mother and children in the community, according to Police Colonel Mary Grace Madayag, Chief of Police, also in line to government peace campaign sa Bagong Pilipinas, gusto ng pulis, ligtas ka. This is Ella Mercado reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Ella Mercado.
DWDD National News.
The report of the occasion is in favor of the bill seeking to revise the eligibility requirements for government employment in consideration of senior high school graduates. The DepEd made the pronouncement after Senator Sherwin Gatchalian highlighted that new Senate Bill number 2367, or the Batang Magaling Act, which seeks to ensure the employability and college readiness of CHS graduates. According to Education Undersecretary Michael Poa, the government should be an example in accepting CHS completers. In regard to this, Poa said the agency is set to talk with the CSC to look at the current qualification standards since K-12 graduates are not included yet.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng